So, through a drunken conversation in the local pub, you've agreed to go touring with your two mates, or one mate, or whatever it is, on something like this that is as wide as a mini metro, where you can't filter easily. Or maybe you've got something a bit more normal than an adventure bike. How can it be an adventure bike? All bikes are adventure bikes. You're the adventure, not the bike. Yeah? But maybe you've not got one of these bikes. Maybe you've got a normal bike, like, I don't know, a Triumph T100, and you just need a roll bag on the back seat. Yeah? So you've decided to go touring. What do you need? What's the worst thing that you need to think about before you go touring? Great looking bike. Look at that top box, size of a coffin. Look at my previous video on why you should just have a normal bike for going touring. But let me say hello to you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. That's right. I've covered all bases. Welcome to the channel. My name is Richard, hence Dickie. If you subscribe, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It does matter. It really does matter. What we're going to talk about today, the pitfalls of going away touring with what you believe are your friends. And that's the problem. You never know, you don't really know someone until you've slept with them. And in this case, we're going to be sleeping in hotels. So there you go. Let's get all done up. Let's get up onto this mini metro. Bloody hell. And it's not even packed up with kit. Let's go for a little ride. Now, I've been touring abroad in Europe and all that for a good 20 years now. Ooh. Let's get off that bump. There we are. Visor down. So I've been touring for 20 years with two guys, Mark and Charlie. And we've not had challenges, we've had great times. The three of us are polar opposites when it comes to personas, personalities, yes? I tend to take the piss out of everyone. Mark tends to be by the rule, and Charlie is so easygoing, I'm surprised he don't ride the bike when he's asleep. You know, it's a great combination. It's a great recipe for a great laugh. But that wasn't always the case. Sometimes we've put other people with us and it's been a real shit show. Yeah? And now we don't. We don't bring anybody else with us. We've learned from mistakes when we go abroad. We don't want to bring anybody else. We'll just have a laugh. Not that the three of us are not perfect, but we seem to get along just fine. Just fine. And this is the challenge. So, it's now the beginning of June, or early part of June 2026, and you've had a conversation with one or two mates about going touring. Now, that might be touring in the UK, going up to Scotland maybe, going down south, going round Wales or whatever for a week. And the thing that you need to be careful of is your personas. So many people go on a tour with different people, and their expectations are wildly apart. What you've got to understand is, first, you're all going to be eating together, generally speaking, and the rain shall come down. For those that said in the in the previous video that I produced. Go and have a look at it. That I don't ride in the rain. That's not true. I'm an all year rider, all year. But that's another thing. So the first thing is food expectations. If I'm going out with my two guys, Mark and Charlie, and my expectation is we'll be eating cheap food all the way across Europe, so we'll be stopping at Lidl and getting some cheap food, yeah, and they're wanting to have exotic food at nice restaurants, then there's a disparity between my budget and their budget, yeah. That's one of the first things. Food can be relatively expensive if you're constantly eating out at, you know, low-end, medium-end restaurants. And then you find on a 10-day tour of Europe that by day 4, you realise that your budgets for your nutritional stuff is not what you expected, and then you have to start getting out the Visa card and worry what the missus is going to say when you get back home, that you've overspent by £200. So get that right first. What are your eating habits going to be like? How much do you need for your food? Generally speaking. Yeah? Make sure there's no shocks or scares when it comes to food. Next thing, understand how many miles you're going to be riding and how you're going to be riding every day. If it's going to be 200 miles, 300 miles, 400 miles, have a clear understanding of how long you're going to be in the saddle and how often you're going to be stopping. And does someone smoke, or does someone have a problem with the bladder where they constantly needing to stop every 45 minutes. Now if you smoke, I smoke, and the guys that I'm with, Mark and Charlie, we got to that stage of life where someone has to stop for a wee, and the breaks are every 45 minutes for about 3 or 4 minutes. So that gives me a chance, if I so need, to have a quick cigarette. Ooh, there's a horse in front. Let's take it easy. They're in a bit of a trot. Let's just take it easy. I don't want to scare that horse into a run. How far down is she going? Let's take it easy. Let's follow her. That's something different, isn't it? Let's not get too close. I'm not sure she can hear me. Visor up. Oh, that's better. Another thing, navigation. How many miles are you doing? Buy your Ayuchi. I've got 25% off everything from the Ayuchi site. Got 25% off. Oh, they're running. And order yourself an Ayuchi. This is the C3 Plus. Absolutely brilliant. Less than £100. I've also got the BX with all the cameras and the TPMS. Order yourself one. I do get a little bit of commission which helps towards managing and running the site, because the pay from YouTube now is just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Pay is halved, which is really sad. I sometimes question, I've been questioning that the payback in another year will have paid for all the equipment, then I might stop, because it's just not worth it financially. What was I saying? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Say thank you. Cheers. Thank you. There we go. Oh. One of the challenges is distance. Now, in the past, Mark was a real endurance rider. We could easily get 600 miles done a day and he'd love it. But 600 miles is a hell of a long way. Yeah? It's a hell of a long way. And it's bloody tiring. And you don't get used, and you don't get the opportunity of looking at anything other than a petrol station. Yeah? Let's be clear on that. So if one of the three of you are expecting to do 600 miles, yeah, and you're expecting to do 200 miles, you need to get that cleared up from the onset. So we've talked about food, the budgets for food, the budgets for miles per day, the budgets for miles per day that you're going to be doing. Set the right expectations. Yeah? And on top of that, the final major thing is the budgets for hotels. If you think that you're going to be sharing a room with two other guys and you're each going to be paying a third, yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's not the challenge. The challenge is when you get over there and someone says, I can't sleep with you, I'm going by myself in my own room, which means your expected budget for the hotel fees goes up. Yep. Make it very clear from the onset of how your accommodation is set. Make it very clear. They're the three main things. Yeah. I'm going to assume that there's not going to be any personality clashes. Yeah. You know if the person you're thinking about going away with on a tour is a twat. You know that. There's no rocket science here. So if you think they are a twat, then don't go away with them. Because for 10 days, touring Europe, you'll be stuck with what you believe is a twat. Go with people that you know. And trust me, by day 3, you'll be seeing a different person in each of the people that you're riding with. Out of the tour, they seem to be really nice people. Everything's fine. There's no issues regarding relationships. But I guarantee you, after 3 days, you'll notice that the personas of the people change. You are in effect becoming their wife, yes? And how they treat the family at home, yeah? So just be very careful, yeah? Just be very careful. And also as well, you know, when I forgot to mention this, the beer budget. Make sure that you all agree how you're paying for beer. Because I don't drink a lot. I really do not drink a lot. And if it's rounds all the time, and when I have a round, and it's my round, and I miss my drink, I'm paying lots more money per evening relative to how much I'm drinking. So let's say I have 2 pints of beer. Each pint of beer is £5. The total should be somewhere in the region of £10. But because Mark and Charlie drink more beer, I end up paying £20, which means a pint of beer for me is £10. I'm back funding their drinking. Do you understand what I mean? Am I sounding like a tight arse? Yes, I am. But I guarantee you, when you go away for 10 days and you drink like that, you drink less, yeah, you will be pissed off because you're back funding everybody else's drinking, and they know it. They're having a cheaper session because you're back funding their excessive drinking. I'm just saying. Make it clear when it comes to beer. What a great road. I do like these roads. Order yourself an Auchi. Like I say, I'm one of the few YouTubers that's been all over Europe with the Auchi kit. Everybody else that promotes it tends to fly out to wherever it is, get a promotion bike from Honda or whoever, and they stick their Auchi on when they get there. They've not ridden through Europe to get to where they were going. I've tested these out on 3,000-mile rides around Europe, and they are brilliant. They are brilliant, and they're a good price. Like I say, this is the C3 Plus. I've also got the BX, which is one of the top ones with the TPMS and the cameras. And I've also got the C6 Pro, which is fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. What's happening here? Ooh. You have been warned. Just be very careful of who you go away with on your future tour this year in 2026. And if needs be, don't be afraid of going by yourself. Yeah? You can go by yourself. And if you can find the right people, stick to the right people for your tours. Yeah? Mark and Charlie and myself, that mix, that recipe seems to work incredibly well. Incredibly well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it meant something to you. As I say, if you're not subscribed and you got this far, please do subscribe. It really, really does help. Thank you for getting this far. I'll see you soon. Ride safely. And looking forward to the summer ahead. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.